Hi, welcome to Mountain Crypto. I'm your host, Shane Ripley, and today we're going to be interviewing my wife, Kara Ripley, and get the real secrets of a crypto wife. So with that, I'd like to invite Kara to come on in, and we've got a few questions for you today. Wow, you look like $1 million.
Thanks.
And I'm all green and wrinkled. You look gorgeous.
Thank you.
I think I want to marry you.
You did, remember?
Yeah. Okay, well, let me grab my coffee here. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Very unprofessional here. But
Gotta have our coffee.
gotta have our coffee. That's what keeps us busy. We can do it all. Tell me a little bit about yourself, some history, some background.
Well, I'm 42 years old, and I grew up in like southeast LA, suburb. And I grew up in a very conservative, Christian home, and my parents were business owners. My grandparents were business owners, and my dad, they're still married, going to celebrate 50 years of marriage. We had a very stable home, a very, kind of no drama type house, very supportive, and my parents were more like the upper middle class of the town where we lived, and they were very involved in our lives, and my dad was always, dabbling in real estate and flipping houses and things like that. So that was just kind of our life. I went to UC Irvine for my undergraduate studies. I have a bachelor's degree in environmental analysis and design. I was a track and field athlete. I went to UCI on a track scholarship, and then I have a master's degree from Ohio University in athletic administration.
Wow. Super woman and super mom, super
and now
chicken
I'm married,
lady.
And I have two wonderful, beautiful kids, 5 and 2.5, as you know. And now I'm the mom. So life has changed a lot.
Got a lot harder, huh?
Yes.
That master's degree was a breeze, huh? All right. So let me ask you, so you're a Southern California girl.
Yes.
We want to get that clear.
Yes,
We're
yes.
here in the San Diego mountains right now.
I was born in Downey, California, grew up in that area most of my life, and went to school, college in Orange County, so I spent a lot of years in Orange County. And then, we had a little time in Hawaii, and then now San Diego.
Got a piece of your heart is definitely in Hawaii.
Yes.
On
a
Maui
huge part,
in particular.
Yeah, a huge part.
Yeah. And I share that with you. So let's ask you, what about, would you consider yourself an entrepreneur?
Not really. I'm more of a steady, stable type person. I'm not a big risk taker. I'm interested in businesses and making money because my dad was that, but it wasn't, I didn't grow up in a home where we were pursuing a lot of ideas. It was more just what fell into our laps from my grandparents. Right. And they were business owners, but they weren't necessarily entrepreneurs, trying to think bigger. They were just kind of taking care of what they were given.
Okay.
So
I would say
there's a difference. I think.
Yeah, there's a difference. You're definitely more conservative when it comes to that compared to me. But I would say you are a businesswoman at heart because you wheel and deal your eggs.
Yes.
You've got your lipstick barn now on Facebook, and I'll like that page for any of our viewers that stumble across this. And also, you spent a lot of years being the property manager of sorts for your father's condo on Maui.
Right, right. And I think that was, with the chickens and the eggs, I just want to pay for what we're doing. And I'm not in it for making money because I just don't want our chicken, endeavors to put us under for our monthly family budget, so I don't want to be putting so much money into that I just want to pay for it so I can keep doing it. With the lipstick, Mommy's Lipstick Barn, I'm hoping to make money, but I just started that, and it gives me something to do at home because, home life can be very difficult, and with 2 little ones, I don't have a lot for myself, and so that's been more something for me.
Right.
And yes, I hope to make money, and I want to make money, but I realize that I'm probably not going to become like a millionaire off of it.
Sure. No, I think we're beyond that, actually. We look at, and I got some questions to talk about that a little later, so we'll go into that. So what do you think about crypto? Your likes and dislikes, in a nutshell.
I'll go with likes first. I think, can be very exciting. It's, not a lot of people are involved in it, so you kind of feel like, you're in this like very, I don't want to say elite, but it's,
Kind of like you believe in Bigfoot or something, really. Let's face it.
Kind of. But, you might meet somebody or hear something about crypto. It's like, oh, they do it too. And, you have this instant, like, interest in it. It is there's an unknown factor. So, the unknown is very exciting because you don't know what's going on with certain currencies, and you're making predictions. And if something happens where you thought it was going to happen, it's exciting. The negatives are kind of the same in that, because there's lots of unknowns and it's very skeptical, that can be negative too.
Yeah.
So it's kind of scary sometimes. And I would say the biggest thing that I don't like is because of my own conviction of being on our devices so much. And that's been like the last year or two, I've been really feeling like for our family and our children, I don't, enough of our life is done on the iPad, on phones. We have to do emails, just taking care of family life. I have to be on it for certain things and being a part of the community, trying to stay up on what's going on in the community for our family. I'm always on the device. I feel convicted about it. So I've been wanting to minimize that, and I feel like with the crypto, we're on it a lot more.
A lot.
Especially you are.
Yeah.
And so our faces are down. We're not paying attention to our children, and we're setting that example for them.
Right.
Which I think they don't need it from us. They're gonna get it anyways from the world they're growing up in. And so to have it reinforced at home, to have that device, I think, or be on the computer, or that's just a huge negative for me.
Trying to compartmentalize that so that they know that it's not our life, but there's time for them.
Yeah.
But it is something that we're doing, and it's in the effort to,
Yeah.
better our family.
Yeah, and but they're so young, they don't know all that yet, so
Right.
they just see us and not paying attention to them.
It's true.
So.
Okay. Good point. Okay, now for kind of a fun one. So the internet goes down. What do you text your husband about?
Is the miner hashing?
Hashing, yes. That's awesome, man. My wife is asking if we're hashing. I love it. And she's not talking about cooking hash browns. She's talking about our miners and if they're making a little bit of money, or they're just sitting there burning electricity, costing us an arm and a leg.
I pay the electric bill, so I want to make sure that it's not just, sitting in there running, because I hear it every time I go outside.
Yeah, it's pretty noisy. Sounds like a small jet aircraft, right? All right, so let's just be brutally honest and pretend like I'm not here. How do you cope being married to a crypto-aholic husband?
Well, I try to just be balanced about it in my viewpoint and think that, okay, we have good communication, so that's a positive, and you've expressed to me that, there's probably a couple years of opportunity. So I'm thinking like, okay, this is not going to be forever. I'm trying to be open-minded, and so I try to keep an open mind about it. But, sometimes it's difficult because, we've had ups and downs, and we've learned a lot when we first started. So that was more difficult. And then, the exciting part is, more starting to happen. And so that's something that, I can kind of balance out the negatives with.
Mm-hmm.
So it's fine. It's just that for me, again, the biggest thing is the time. The time, because I'm all about family life, and I think it does take away from our family life.
Yeah, it does.
So.
And although I try to do a lot of the updates on my drive, because I do have a lot of driving that I do for my, my employment, my regular employment.
Right.
It does take extra time to do these podcasts and the YouTube videos. So we're hoping to get some results, positive results from that, and being able to improve the podcast and just improve our family situation. Oh, thanks. All right. You did mention that I said a couple years, and I just want to clarify. I do feel like for a couple years it's going to be very speculative, so the market's going to be up and down like crazy, and with that crazy risk and spikes comes a lot of opportunity for reward. So I do feel crypto will be here in more than 2 years. It'll definitely be here, and it'll be huge. But as like with the stock market, the winners and losers will have kind of filtered out, and the market, I believe, will stabilize, and there'll be a lot less opportunity for big rewards, in my opinion. So just wanted to clarify that. Do you believe that you and your husband, me, offer anything to the crypto community in putting out these podcasts and YouTube videos, and if so, what would that be?
Well, from the, limited amount that I've seen in the crypto world, we don't fit the mold as far as, the young millennial single people who are living in their parents' basements doing this,
Some of them are multi-millionaires
yes,
too, by the way.
and they are.
A lot of them are.
But, we are, family life,
Right.
we are older, we're on our own, we're not in that generation, we're not very techie. I mean, we are, but not like they are, So, I mean, you're more techie than I am, and you're very competent, but they're like over in another level.
Sure, they're building the blockchain,
Yeah.
and folks like that are just definitely miles ahead of me,
And
for
they're,
sure.
They're just more kind of raw, they have a rougher edge, we're all about family, and so, maybe older people who are like us might be intimidated to get into the crypto world because they may not feel like there's a place for them. And so I think we offer an example for, this is a family, a normal family who has a house payment and who, kids' lives are very busy. We have a church family that we're involved in. We're just normal people, and we're older, and we didn't grow up in that, techie world. And so, they, like we pointed out, they use a lot of bad language that we don't want our children to hear, and so that's not us. So,
Okay.
all those things.
Thank you. So what do you think about, you kind of touched on it, I was just going to ask, what do you think about our down-home style and the kid-friendly format? You think that has a place?
Yeah, I do.
You kind of covered it.
Yeah, I do, because again, that's not the norm from what I've seen in the crypto, videos, and they're...
Can be pretty rough sometimes.
Yeah, it can.
You can't even listen to it
Right.
from your kids.
Right,
So,
right.
and even though these guys are super smart, I'm real big on a particular coin, and I think his name is Synth, if I'm saying it right. He's a genius, but wow, man, the F-bombs are just intolerable. Okay, what do you, I don't know if you've ever thought about this, but do you favor decentralization, and if so, why?
I probably don't have the real educated viewpoint on it, but I have a kind of a general
That's
viewpoint
fine.
and idea about it. But we believe in less government, less regulation, more freedom, more free market. So if that decentralization represents those things, then I think I would be supportive of that.
Right. Yeah.
Because those are things that we know we believe in for anything, for not just currency, but for, regulating our lives, whether it's our children's school or our medical care. We deal with a lot of issues in other areas that apply the same principles.
Exactly.
And so if that's applying those principles, then I'm for it.
All right, I like that. Where do you see yourself with crypto in 2 years? Maybe, kind of a personal goal.
You know, I've not really thought of my personal goals with it.
Or us as a family.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I hope that we will at least know one way or the other where we've come with it and where we're going with it. Because right now I feel like there's still so much uncertainty that we don't really know what's going to happen. And I kind of feel like I hope we can get to a point where we're spending less time with it, and it's just either working for us so we don't have to spend much time with it, or you know, that maybe we pull out and, you know, because we made some money, or I don't know. I feel like I hope that we can be less involved time-wise with it. That's probably my goal. Whether we make money or don't make money, I think, you know, that's still just not in my hands. So I hope that whether we're involved, it can be more passive. And then if it's not going to be lucrative, then, you know, we move on to some of our other goals.
Right, exactly. Okay. If money were no object, what would you do?
I would remodel our entire house.
Kitchen first, huh?
Kitchen. I have, you know, we have 50 projects we could do right now.
Right, here on the ranch, yeah.
I would buy a little farm in Maui.
Oh, I thought you'd take me on a vacation. I didn't know you were going to buy me another farm to take care of. That means more work for me, by the way.
We could have somebody else take care of it. I would want to help somebody or help our church, for sure. That's usually number one for us. We try to always remember that.
Excellent.
And of course we would take a trip somewhere that we thought we'd never go to. And I'd like to give our kids an experience that they'll remember, you know, besides just going to Disneyland.
Exactly.
I would love for them to just have like a month to travel the country, or, you know, just do something that they're going to remember the experience by, and have that experience impact them versus buying them something.
Yeah, very good. Sweet. Okay, I don't have any more questions. Is there anything else you'd like to add that you can think of?
I think you covered everything that I could give you. I mean, I don't have a lot to offer as far as, you know, the business side and the technical side, but...
No, I think this is a great interview. I think a lot of people appreciate it. Maybe some husbands can share it with their wives so that they can see, you know, both the positives and the negatives of it. I guess that's about all I have to say, too, except for I'm a blessed man. I'm married to a beautiful, caring woman that is also able to give me enough space to be the entrepreneurial nut that I am. And I'm always brainstorming stuff, and she's always takes it with a grain of salt, maybe a whole trainload of salt, actually. So I appreciate that, and appreciate you guys that are going to be watching this in the future. We only have a few subscribers right now, so we appreciate you watching that. And this is Mountain Crypto, and with that, over and out.